Hi, I'm Leslie Ferry, the founder of Brize and the host of the Bright and Wise podcast. Let's unleash your greatness with today's topic.
So I'm joined again by Pamela Coleman-Davis, and she's sharing with us 5 attributes that leads to leadership success, whatever stage you're in. And attribute 2, Pam, is activating system 2 critical thinking for problem solving. What the heck does that mean?
Well, problem solving in general is really just coming up with a reasonable way to be able to move forward. But when you start thinking about what's called system 2 critical thinking, it's really solving complex problems. And when you're activating system 2 critical thinking, it's actually very slow, sometimes very deliberate. You have to be very thoughtful, and it takes a lot of effort to do that. What you're doing in reality is you're trying to take in information, you're weighing all of these possibilities, and there could be some trade-offs that you have to figure out, and you're just trying to figure out how to move forward. And there's a lot of sort of ordering of events, some next step kind of thinking that has to happen to kind of get you through this problem solving piece. So why is this important, Pam? It's important because when you can overcome these complex obstacles, it aids in accelerating goal achievement. Anything worthwhile is probably going to have some level of complexity with it. And so you have to be able to figure out how to get through it.
Right.
So some things to think about when you're sort of tackling a really complex problem is don't try to solve it in a vacuum, right?
Yeah.
You need to intentionally seek differing points of view. What I like to call, you need to widen the circle, right? Know where you're strong, and then leverage the strengths of others to sort of come up with a larger point of view on the project. The second thing I would say is break it up into smaller pieces. Everybody's always trying to tackle these big, large, complex problem as one big thing. But I find that when you make it smaller by breaking it into smaller pieces, you actually see more when you start stripping away the things to put these things into smaller buckets. It makes it easier to assess what's happened. You can get the right resources on the right part of the project, that sort of thing. And then the third thing, which may sound ridiculous, but it is know what the ending is supposed to be. What is the result that you're looking to get out of this project? You should know what the end should be. Stephen Covey had this thing where he says, begin with the end in mind. And all that really means is you have to sort of know where you're going so that you know whether or not you solved the problem or not. So how would you know if you're doing this right? If you're able to generate solutions from yourself and from others, all of these ideas, I like to tell people, don't always have to come from you. As a matter of fact, they probably shouldn't always come from you.
Right.
You want to leverage what you're learning and getting from others. That's going to enhance the problem solving. Inevitably, somebody's going to see something in 5 minutes that you didn't see in the 1 week that you were sort of thinking through the thing, right?
Right.
So when you're presenting solutions also, leaders want to know that you've talked to multiple people, you've looked at multiple sources, and that when you're recommending that, that means you've been very thoughtful about the process, and it'll be easier for you to, as we talked about earlier, influence them because they say, okay, she's done her homework. She's talked to several people. She's looked at several resources. She's sort of broken the problem down into manageable pieces, which gives me confidence that I think we actually can solve this problem. And we're going to go with that this solution, and she has another solution in case this one doesn't work. So this business about using your critical thinking for problem solving is very, very important. Very important.
Excellent. I like to say the difference, it's system 2 thinking is effortful versus system 1, which is automatic.
Yep.
So it's I love the way that you describe complex problem solving or opportunities, trying to tackle where you could improve something, innovate an idea, or capitalize on a market opportunity. And it's you can't just react, right? It can't be habitual. It has to be very thoughtful and applying different knowledges and, to your point, different input, right?
Yeah. I mean, given the time and the opportunity, you want to be thoughtful about craftings and solution that you have to come up with. Sometimes if it's a urgent situation and you have to, think of something on the fly, that's fine. I mean, you'll be put in those situations, but given the time and the opportunity, you always want to sort of lean on being thoughtful about what to do. It's going to save you lots of time. In the end, you're going to get people aligned with you better in the beginning if you're thoughtful about it. Nobody wants to follow anyone that's sort of like shooting from the hip. They want to know that, okay, she's actually thought about this. She's thought about what this obstacle could mean. She understands the risk here. Okay, fine. I can spend energy working with her on this project because she's been very thoughtful about this thing.
I love the way that you just described that. It's that it's almost that you're bringing people along on your journey of how you analyzed why this is a good way to go forward. Because you said, I've thought about who could be impacted, what are the opportunities? And if you can't answer those types of things, maybe you should ask yourself, am I just reacting and just doing an automatic reaction? Or have I really thought through what this opportunity or problem or whatever it is? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So remind everyone again, how do I know if I'm doing it right before we wrap this topic up?
You know you're doing it right if you've generated lots of solutions.
Okay.
And all of these ideas have not come from you, right? The more ideas you're generating and you're leveraging from others, the easier it's going to be to do the problem solving. And when you are presenting this solution to the leadership, the other leaders know, because you've talked to multiple people, you've got, multiple ways to approach the problem. They know you've been thoughtful and they're willing to co-sign whatever your solution is to move yourself forward. So the key really is generating lots of solutions from multiple sources.
Excellent. Thanks.
If you find our podcast interesting, please leave us a rating and review so others can benefit too. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode.